The command bridge of the Zarnathi flagship, Imperial Claw, buzzed with energy. Screens glowed with movement. Hundreds of alien officers moved between stations, eyes focused. Yet one thing stole all attention, an old rust-colored human ship, drifting into Sector 91. "Is that ... human-made?" one officer asked. Admiral Krex leaned forward in his seat, his four eyes narrowing. The ship was slow. It moved as if wounded, drifting through space like space junk. No weapons were visible. No escorts followed. It had no shields. It didn't even broadcast identification signals. Another officer chuckled. "They sent that? Against our patrol fleet?" More laughter followed. It spread like fire. Even Krex couldn't help but smirk. "Let the record show." Krex announced, standing tall, that the Terrans have sent a museum piece to face the might of the Empire. The crew burst into roars of amusement. Laughter echoed down the corridors, carried across the ships of the fleet. The image of the old Terran ship was shared between commanders. Across 20 warships, the mocking continued. They gave the ship a name, the Floating Joke. But on board that joke, Captain Aaron stood silent. His ship, the TSS Resolute, was quiet. Inside, no one laughed. No one smiled. It was calm cold like a blade before battle. He looked through the forward screen. The enemy fleet was right. Their 20 ships in tight formation, weapons armed, shields glowing, their radio channels filled with laughter and jokes at humanity's expense. He turned to his crew. Just 12 in number. All human. All hand-picked. "They think we're weak," Aaron said. "They think Earth built this ship for show." He paused. "They're wrong." Back on the Imperial Claw, Krex ordered a scan. Check for weapons. Confirm. Threat level. Scans show no advanced tech. Hull is primitive. Heat signatures low. Threat level. Negligible, reported the scanning officer. Negligible, Krex repeated, smiling wide. Perfect. He opened a wide-range broadcast, audible to every ship and to the human vessel ahead. "This is Admiral Krex of the Galactic. Empire," he declared, "we thank you for your gift. We will make sure this rusted can sits in our museum as proof of Earth's failure." Then came the line that would never be forgotten. "Even my food processor has more threat than you." The fleet roared again with laughter. Inside Resolute, the bridge lights dimmed. "Captain," said the ship's AI, "cloak ready. Systems fully charged." Iron nodded. "Let them laugh." He walked to the control panel and placed his hand on the activation switch. Ready the ship. One by one, hidden systems came to life. Behind false panels, weapon ports slid open. Inside the hull, dark energy weapons spun silently. The ship's outer shell shimmered faintly, the ancient-looking. Hull fading into smooth, obsidian black. Resolute was no relic dot. It was a prototype warship built in secret. Designed for one mission only -obliteration. Suddenly, the laughter on the enemy fleet stopped. A single sensor officer on the nearest scout cruiser, Scarnblade, noticed something strange. "Sir," he whispered, "the Terran ship just vanished." "From our scans." "What?" barked his captain. It's gone. No energy, no heat, nothing." Panic gripped the room. On the Imperial Claw, Krex leaned in. "Get me visuals." The forward screen showed only empty space. The human ship was gone. Cold silence fell across the fleet. For the first time, no one joked. No one laughed. And then something worse happened. Deep sound echoed through space, not from outside, but inside the enemy ship's coms. A low rumble, like thunder rolling through metal halls. Then, a voice. Soft, calm, human. "We heard your laugh." The message repeated on every channel. No source. No I. Just the voice. "Now listen to ours." Before they could react, the scarn blade exploded. No warning, no weapon trail, just light and silence. Alarms blared across the fleet. Ships turned their guns toward empty space. Krex screamed orders, but the laughter had stopped. And in its place, the fear had begun. Asterisk, the wreckage of the scarn blade drifted slowly, its remains glowing like dying embers. No one saw what hit it. No missile, no beam. Just gone. Admiral Krex gripped the edge of the command table aboard Imperial Claw. His confident smirk had vanished. Status report. He barked. They didn't fire anything we could trace, said the scan officer, voice shaking. It was like the ship imploded from inside. Another voice shouted, we're detecting faint gravitational warps moving fast. But number. Origin. Krex turned to the visual feed. There was nothing but stars. The Terran vessel was still invisible. How does an old Earthship disappear? He growled. Far away, cloaked in a dark shimmer, the TSS Resolute hovered in silence. Inside the ship, Captain Aaron stood at the tactical table, eyes calm. The room was bathed in a soft blue light. His officers, only 12, were all watching silent readings. Target locked. Second ship. The AI whispered. Do they see us? Aaron asked. Negative. They're blind. He nodded. Proceed. On board the alien destroyer Varnith Storm, lights flickered. Then the floor trembled. The crew froze. Something had touched their ship inside their shield. Without a single shot fired, the core overheated. A second later, the ship turned white-hot and split apart. No warnings. No time to escape. The Imperial fleet had lost 2 capital-class ships in under 5 minutes. Krex shouted over the comms. All ships spread formation. Load plasma cannons. Find that human ship now. But there was still nothing on sensors. One captain replied, we're scanning in all frequencies, Admiral. There's nothing out there. It's not nothing. Krex roared. It's a ghost. His. Officers stared at him. The laughter from earlier felt like a curse. Now summoning something from Earth they couldn't understand. On Resolute, crew member Laya smirked. They're panicking. Exactly what we want, Aaron replied. Prepare next move. Full silence mode. Pulse drive single jump. Short range. The ship shimmered again, repositioning instantly with no sound, no trace. This wasn't traditional cloaking. It was phase shifting. A human invention never revealed to the galaxy. Something born from Deathworld engineering. Meanwhile, on the alien cruiser Bloodwing, a young officer stared at her screen. Sir, I'm seeing a shadow just outside visual range. But sensors say it's empty. Her captain leaned in. Shadow? There's nothing there. Then came the same voice, again soft, human, and direct into their minds. 3 down. How many more do you want? Screams echoed as the voice spread across every ship. It wasn't a broadcast. It was inside there. Systems inside their heads. Admiral Krex's claws scraped the command table. Enough. Lock plasma cannons. Fire in a wide arc burn the hole. Sector, if you must. Dozens of cannons charged and fired, filling the stars with burning light. Nebula gas lit up. Space glowed with heat, but nothing was hit, and when the light faded, a black shape hovered behind one of their cruisers. A ship sleek, smooth, no markings. It didn't look human. It looked like Death. Then it fired one beam. Silent, thin, focused. The cruiser broke apart in complete silence. Inside the Resolute, Aaron gave a single nod. His voice cold. They called us a joke, he said. Let's show them the punchline. In the Galactic Command Center, millions of light years away, a Zarnathi intelligence officer watched the live reports disappear one by one. She looked at her superior. It's happening again, she whispered. Another Terran ghost ship. He stood silently. Should we send reinforcements? He shook his head. No. If the Resolute is there, it's already too late. The battlefield was silent now. 3 warships gone. No explosions, no smoke. Just floating wreckage-twisted metal spinning in the dark. From the bridge of Imperial Claw, Admiral Krex's claws trembled. This wasn't a battle. It was a message. The message was simple. You are prey. Status? Krex demanded. We've lost contact with Bloodwing, Skarn Blade, and Varnith Storm, came the broken reply. Any sighting of the Terran ship? No, sir. It's like it becomes part of the stars. Krex growled low. Impossible. Nothing is that invisible. But deep down, he knew this ship wasn't from the galaxy he knew. It was something Earth built to win before the war even. Began miles away, hidden in the black between stars. TSS Resolute hovered like a shadow. Inside, Captain Aaron watched enemy fleet paths shifting. Their formation once proud and tight now, scattered and broken. They fired wildly into space. They weren't fighting a ship anymore. They were fighting fear. Target next, he said quietly. The AI answered. 2 ships are now overlapping destroy. 1, damage the other. Aaron nodded. Do it. On board the alien ship Razor Queen, Captain Thorl barked orders. Keep your shields up. Random pulse sweeps every second. But before his crew could follow, a sudden beam cut straight through the side of the ship, belting half the command bridge. Screams rang out. Thorl never even saw what hit them. From the nearby cruiser Dagger Vow, a panicked call rang out. Razor Queen is falling apart. Its hull just dissolved. The voice went silent. Another ship. Gone. Another crew. Silence. Back on the Imperial Claw. Krex finally snapped. Pull back. All ships form emergency retreat vectors. This is not a battle. It's a slaughter. His command went out, but it was too late. As soon as the ships began turning, Resolute moved. A cloaked leap. Silent and instant. It dropped right in the middle of the fleeing ships. A second later, 5 glowing lines of energy shot outward from the black Terran vessel, each line precise, each line a death sentence. All 5 ships were hit. All 5 vanished. In flashes of quiet light, the comms lit up with screams, static, and then nothing. 12 ships remained. From over 200 strong. On board the Resolute, no one smiled. No one cheered. Aaron stood tall, face expressionless. This was their choice, he said. They mocked us. Laughed at our warnings. Fired first. His XO replied, and now? Aaron turned toward the screen where the fleet's lead ship, the Imperial Claw, was still trying to turn and run. Now, Aaron said, we teach them what it means when a Gethworld builds a warship. Inside the Galactic Council's war chamber, far from the fight, reports were flooding in. A group of elder species ancient leaders of the galaxy watched as the kill logs updated. Ship names turned red. Entire fleets erased. Who authorized? Provocation of a Terran vessel? One asked coldly. No one answered. They warned us Earth's technology was changing. But we thought they were bluffing. The silence in the chamber felt heavier than gravity. On the Imperial Claw, Krex's second in command approached. Sir, the human ship, it's not following any physics we understand. It jumps without energy trace. It kills without a shot. Even its voice enters our comms uninvited. Krex's eyes burned with fear. It's a ghost, he whispered. It's a ghost from Earth. The Resolute powered up its final System 1, only used in case of retreat or message delivery. It wasn't time to run. It was time to announce. Aaron activated the wideband. Transmission. No visual. No sound effects. Just his voice, calm and clear. reaching every corner of the enemy fleet. You mocked the last Terran ship to enter this region. Now you're witnessing why none ever returned. Your fleet is already gone. Your leaders will deny it. Your history will lie about it. But the stars will remember. And then came the chilling final line. This is mercy. Earth never sent its second ship. Asterisk, the stars flickered dimly across Sector 91. The battlefield now looked like a graveyard. Burning wreckage spun in silence. Broken hulls glowed like dead moons. But still, the Imperial claw survived. Barely. Admiral Krex stood in the dim red light of his damaged bridge, face pale, voice broken. His elite fleet was gone. He had underestimated one thing, a Terran ship. No one understood and now it was coming for him. Report, he whispered. His scan officer's voice shook. The Terran vessel. It's not moving. It's just sitting facing us. Then fire everything we have, Krex shouted. Missiles, plasma beams, graviton rounds, launch it all. Dozens of weapons fired from the Imperial claw. Massive. Warheads sped through space. Beams cut across the stars. Explosions lit the sky. But when the light faded, the TSS Resolute was still there. Untouched. Not even a scratch. Inside Resolute, Captain Aaron didn't flinch. His crew remained silent. The alien fleet had just used every known weapon from the Galactic arsenal, and nothing had even grazed the hull. He turned to his AI. Are we ready? Affirmative, it replied. Core system is stable. Weapon is charged. Shall I deploy? Not yet, Aaron said. They need to understand what's coming. Aboard the Imperial claw, confusion turned into horror, direct hits, and no damage, the weapon officer whispered. Krex looked at his screen again. The human ship was glowing just slightly. Sir, said the engineer, we're detecting something from their core. But I don't recognize it. It's not plasma, not fusion, not even dark matter. What is it? Krex demanded. The engineer looked up, terrified. I don't know. Aaron stepped forward to the command console. He placed both hands on the controls. The ship recognized his heartbeat, his identity, his intent. With one breath, he spoke a single word. Unseal. Panels on the Resolute's outer hull slid back. From beneath them, a strange energy shimmered liquid, glowing, moving like it was alive. This wasn't a weapon the galaxy knew. It wasn't fired. It was released. The Galactic Council had once rejected the Terran proposal for a new weapon using quantum-locked energy wrapped in living code. They called it too unstable. Earth built it anyway. And now, the Resolute carried the first and only unit. Project Eclipse. The alien scanners began failing, sensors fried, screens cracked, targeting systems collapsed. Every ship in the remaining fleet began drifting as lights dimmed. One by one, their engines died. They weren't being shot at. They were being disabled from the inside out. On the Imperial claw, Krex fell to his knees. We can't move. No systems responding. No weapons online. A new voice entered the comms no speaker identified. You laughed at an old ship, but you never scanned the soul inside it. You fired at what you saw, not what you didn't. Krex gasped. Is this your final attack? The voice paused. This isn't the attack. This ... is the warning. Suddenly, across every remaining alien ship, the screens changed. All of them. Black screens turned white, and one symbol appeared. A Terran flag. Red and black. A ship with burning wings under it. Do not engage Earth. Back inside Resolute, Aaron watched as the final phase activated. The Imperial claw began to power down completely, lights fading. Engines silenced, weapons frozen in. Mid-charge. No explosion. No death. Just stillness. Captain, said Laia, Aaron's XO. Why not destroy them like the rest? Aaron turned slowly, because sometimes mercy is the sharpest blade. The Galactic Council received the full transmission minutes later. They watched Krex's flagship go dark. They read the flag. They heard the voice, and none of them spoke. For a long, long time, from that day forward, one rule echoed across every military manual in the galaxy. If a Terran ship enters your space, do not scan, do not fire, do not laugh, because the weapon they never saw was the one Earth never had to use again. Asterisk. In the silent wreckage of Sector 91, only one ship moved, the TSS Resolute. The once mighty alien fleet lay in ruins hulls drifting like shattered bones. Systems frozen mid-command. Engines still glowed faintly, but no movement came. No response. No resistance dot inside the Imperial claw. Admiral Krex sat slumped in his command chair. His eyes stared at the message on every screen. A Terran flag. A single warning beneath it. Do not engage Earth. He finally spoke, voice dry like ash. Send a transmission to the Galactic Council. Tell them we were wrong. No one responded. His crew, paralyzed by fear or by the ship's dead systems, didn't even look at him. In orbit above, Resolute hovered like a ghost. Inside, Captain Aaron watched the final diagnostics. The weapon's effect? He asked calmly. His AI answered. Complete. Fleet disabled. No deaths recorded. All systems offline. Engines permanently locked. Good, he said. Broadcast ready. Leah, his XO, added. Aaron nodded. Send it. Use all channels. Across the galaxy, on stations, cruisers, council halls, and even distant colonies, a Terran voice rang out. Calm, measured, cold. This is Earth. We are not your enemies. We never wanted war. But when you mock our peace and challenge our silence, understand what comes next. This was a single vessel, one crew, one warning. There will not be a second. Then silence. In the Galactic Council chamber, no one moved. Representatives from 100 species stared at the black screen. A general from the Varnathi species stood. They used no mass weapons, no large fleet, no terror ships. Just one vessel. An elder whispered, they could have erased us. But they didn't. But why? Someone asked. A reply came from the shadows. Because Earth doesn't conquer with guns. Earth conquers with memory. Back on Resolute, Aaron stood, alone at the observation panel. Stars blinked calmly in the distance, unaware of the chaos they'd just witnessed. Mission complete, said the AI softly. No, Aaron replied. Now comes the real message. He ordered a final action. Drop one beacon in the wreck field. Let them see it. Let them remember. Laya looked confused. A rescue beacon? No, Aaron replied, voice flat. A tombstone. The beacon floated out from the belly of Resolute Small. Small dotted. Broadcast one thing on loop. Sector 91. Here lies the pride of the Empire. Silenced by one Terran shadow. Krex saw it appear from his shattered bridge. He didn't scream. Didn't order another attack. He simply bowed his head. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Global Defense Council received Aaron's full report. The chairman read every word, then whispered to his advisors, Do we send another ship? One general shook his head. No, they'll speak about this for centuries. Fear will carry the message better than fleets. Another added, We didn't just win a battle, we rewrote the rules. And so it began. Across the stars, whispers. Children were warned in bedtime stories. If a Terran ship appears, never laugh. Fleet commanders began carrying manuals titled, First Contact, Earth Protocol. And on a distant moon, someone carved the words, Do not test Deathworlders. They only fight when they've already won. On Resolute, Aaron sat in silence. One of his crew finally asked, "Captain, why did we spare them?" He replied without turning, "Because we weren't sent to kill fleets, ... He paused. "We were sent to kill arrogance." Asterisk, the warships no longer moved, drifting like broken bones in a vast ocean of stars. The once mighty galactic fleet that had mocked the Terran ship now floated helplessly above the glowing wreckage of Sector 91. The only object transmitting now was the beacon. Here lies the pride of the Empire, silenced by one Terran shadow. It repeated in every language known across the galaxy. And every time someone heard it, it went quiet. On the bridge of the TSS Resolute, Captain Aaron remained still, eyes fixed on the screen. Below them, the last remains of the alien fleet spun slowly. No flames, no smoke. Just cold, quiet ruins. His voice was quiet. "How long until the beacon spreads across Council space?" "Estimated 7.4 cycles," replied the ship's AI. "Quicker if intercepted by patrols." "And their response?" "Unclear," the AI said, "but fear spreads faster than light." Aaron allowed himself one small nod. That was the point. In the heart of Galactic Council territory, a meeting of emergency status was already underway. The hall, once filled with arguments, noise, and political pride, was silent. Everyone stared at the black orb floating in the center of the room. A hologram played again. One Terran ship, dozens of warships. And in nothing but silence, the leader of the Empire's Central Command stood and asked the question everyone feared. "How many of those ships do they have?" No one answered, not because they didn't know, but because they realized something worse. Even one was too many. Back in Sector 91, Resolute finally turned. It didn't fly away fast, that it didn't cloak again. It just moved forward slowly, like a ghost gliding through starlight. Inside, Laia looked at Aaron. "Do we report full victory?" Aaron shook his head. "Victory suggests we fought. We didn't fight. We warned." The remaining ships in the Empire's border zones received scrambled fragments of what had happened. Some captains didn't believe it until they entered Sector 91 and saw it for themselves. Wreckage everywhere. Ships sliced clean through. Engines frozen in open space. And in the middle, a small blinking beacon whispering. This was mercy. Aboard one alien patrol ship, a young officer looked out the viewing panel. He trembled. "Captain, is this real? One Terran ship did all this?" The captain, older and scarred from past battles, answered quietly. "I once saw a Terran during peace talks." He said nothing, just watched. "I didn't understand why I was afraid then." He pointed to the destruction below. "Now I do." Earth received the full report from Aaron's mission, but they didn't celebrate. There were no speeches. No news reports. No medals, because Terrans knew the lesson was never in the destruction. It was in the silence left behind. The next day, the Council sent a message to Earth. "We regret the incident. We ask for dialogue." Earth did not respond, not out of arrogance, but because they knew silence was now the loudest answer. In hidden corners of the galaxy, enemies began adjusting their maps. They drew thick black circles around human space. Inside those lines, they wrote just one word: "Do not enter." And below that, "If you see one Terran ship, retreat. If you see two, pray." On board Resolute, Aaron walked the silent halls of the ship one last time before shutdown. His hand touched the walls. The ship had done what it was built to do: not destroy enemies, but destroy illusions. As the stars spun outside, Leah spoke one final time. "Captain, what if they come back stronger?" Aaron looked at her. "Then we show them what we never used." Her brow furrowed. "We didn't use our full power?" He turned to her, voice cold and sharp. "No," he said. We used only 1/10 of it. Weeks passed. Sector 91 remained untouched. No ship dared enter. No salvage crew responded. The wreckage floated like a scar across the stars, cold, lifeless, an eternal dot in the center of it all. A Terran beacon still blinked gently, whispering across the galaxy, "Do not engage Earth." This was mercy. But the message was more than words. It was a symbol. It was a flag planted in Orbit 1, not of conquest, but warning. On board the TSS Resolute, Captain Aaron stood alone in the observation chamber. His face calm, eyes steady. He had no need to boast. His ship had no glory parade. Earth never celebrated violence. But they remembered. Laia stepped beside him. Final transmission received from Earth. We're to return. Anything else? He asked. She hesitated. One line. She handed him the tablet. He read it silently. Let them talk. Let them fear. Let them wonder if we're always watching. And indeed, the galaxy was watching. On colony worlds, children learned a new name for Terrans: the Silent Ones. In military academies, instructors told cadets, if you ever see a lone Terran ship, leave. Religious leaders from peaceful systems claimed the Resolute was a divine weapon. Some even began worshiping the ship as a force of balance. Even pirates stopped entering human sectors. Because one ship had become a myth, and myths are more powerful than fleets. In secret council chambers, leaders argued, we need to match. They're tech. They use systems we can't even detect. They disabled us without killing us. That's worse than death. But one elder stood and said the words none wanted to hear. We didn't lose a battle. We lost the illusion of safety. The TSS Resolute finally entered Terran space. No fanfare. No welcome. No crowds. It docked quietly at Black Station, an orbital base even Terrans rarely mentioned. Inside, Captain Aaron submitted his final report. A single sentence. They understand now. Aaron was offered command of another ship. He declined. His mission had never been about war. It had been about message, memory, and meaning. He knew the Resolute had done its job. So it was decommissioned, sealed in orbit. Not destroyed, but left intact. Floating, untouched. Because even Earth feared what it had made. Years later, a new alien ship drifted too close to Earth's territory. It was an accident. A rookie pilot, curious, young, old, he approached the borderline where warning beacons pulsed gently in space. He crossed it. And in the blink of a star, every screen on his ship went black. No power, no response. Just one message written across the ship's command display. Turn back. He did. And when he returned home, he told everyone what he saw. He never saw a ship. He only saw a flag. That flag became legend. A Terran emblem. Black and red. A silent silhouette of a ship surrounded by stars. No words. No threat. No noise. Just the symbol that meant one thing across the galaxy. You may never see them, but they see you. Back on Earth, deep beneath command bunkers, scientists continued building quietly. They never released details. They never warned anyone. But above every door in Terran command, engraved in steel, was the phrase, "Silence is our greatest weapon." And in the stars, far beyond the edge of known space, a child looked up from her colony planet and asked her mother, "Mom, is it true that one human ship destroyed an entire Empire fleet?" Her mother nodded slowly. "Yes, child. But that's not the scary part. Then what is?" She looked to the stars and whispered, "No one knows if it was the only one." The end asterisk.